All right, let's jump right in. Today we are tackling a huge, messy, and absolutely fascinating topic. What happens when artificial intelligence starts creating art, and who, if anyone, gets to own it?
I mean, this is the million-dollar question, isn't it? Imagine an AI, all on its own, just spits out an incredible painting or a song that's an absolute banger. So who owns it? The person who typed in the prompt? The tech company that built the AI? The AI itself? What's the answer?
And there it is. In the United States, the answer is nobody. Get this, if a work is created entirely by an AI, without any real creative input from a person, it can't be copyrighted. It falls into this special bucket that anyone and everyone can use.
Okay, so for all you high school civics and business teachers tuning in, this explainer is made specifically for you. We're going to unpack this whole paradox, and then I'm going to give you a really cool thought experiment that you can run with your students to get them thinking about the future of, well, everything. So if nobody owns it, where does it go? Well, it lands in what's called the public domain. Think of it like a giant, free, creative playground. It's this shared library of stuff that anyone can use, remix, build on, or sell, all without asking for permission.
So why the difference? What's the big dividing line for the U.S. Copyright Office? Well, it all boils down to one simple idea: human authorship. The whole point of copyright law, the reason it exists, is to encourage people to create new things. So if a human is the author, they get protection. But if the author is just a piece of software, that work goes straight to the public domain.
Now look, this isn't just some old guideline they dug up. This is being tested in the courts right now. In a huge case, Thaler v. Perlmutter, the Court of Appeals put it bluntly. They said the law is crystal clear. To get a copyright, you need a human being involved from the get-go.
Okay, but where exactly is that line? I mean, how much human involvement do you need for it to count? To really get a handle on this, we've got to look at a real-world case that literally forced the Copyright Office to draw a line in the sand.
And that brings us to the fascinating case of Zarya of the Dawn. So back in 2022, the creator got a copyright for her whole graphic novel. No problem. But then, a few months later, the Copyright Office found out the pictures were made by Midjourney, an AI. And they said, whoa, hold on a second. We need to take another look at this.
And the final decision was so interesting. They basically sliced it up. They said, okay, the story and the words you wrote, that's all you. It's protected. And the way you arranged everything, the layout, the creative choices you made, that's protected too. But the individual images that the AI generated, nope, those don't have enough human authorship. They're not protected.
You know, the Copyright Office came up with a really great analogy for this. They said using an AI is kind of like hiring an artist. You can give them some general directions like, hey, I want a painting of a spaceship, but you can't then claim you're the artist. The artist, or in this case, the AI, did the actual creative work. You just gave a suggestion.
Okay, so we've got the rule down. No human author, no copyright. Now this is where it gets really fun. Let's take this legal rule and turn it into a strategic game. An exercise that'll get your students thinking like future innovators and disruptors.
So, here's the challenge to pose to your class. If AI-generated stuff is automatically free for everyone, how can you use that to your advantage? This isn't just a legal quirk. It's a potential business strategy, a powerful one.
Have them map out what we could call a public domain forever project. So, step 1, pick a market. Let's say stock photos of coffee cups, or simple background music for YouTube videos. Step 2, set up an AI to just churn out millions of different versions, completely automated, no human creative choices involved. Step 3, just unleash it all. The whole library goes straight into the public domain. And then, step 4 is to analyze the fallout. What just happened to that market?
And the scale here is just mind-boggling. We're talking about generating 1 million+ uncopyrightable, totally free assets in just a few days. You could theoretically flood a creative niche so completely that it becomes almost impossible for anyone to sell their own coffee cup photos ever again.
And what's so cool about this exercise is that it perfectly demonstrates the legal test. By intentionally designing a project to have zero meaningful human input, your students are proving they understand the very thing the law requires. It shows that copyright is about creative control, not just pushing a button on a machine.
So why is all this so important? Why do your students, the next generation of artists, entrepreneurs, and thinkers, need to get this? Because this isn't some abstract futuristic idea. This is happening right now. This is the world they are walking into. So let's recap the big takeaways here. First, if an AI is the sole creator in the US, its work is public domain, period.
Second, the law is built to protect and incentivize people, not programs. Third, the magic words are creative control. Just writing a prompt doesn't cut it. Fourth, this whole situation is creating massive challenges, but also huge strategic opportunities. And finally, for anyone who wants to create or build a business in the future, knowing these rules isn't just a good idea, it's absolutely essential.
And I'll leave you with this final, big question to debate in your classroom. Is a project like Public Domain Forever a good thing for human creativity? I mean, does it help by giving everyone this massive treasure chest of free resources to use? Or does it actually devalue human artists by just flooding the market and making it impossible for them to make a living? There is no easy answer, which, of course, is what makes it such an important conversation to have. Thanks for joining me.